Good morning, everyone. We are working on another C8 Corvette today, and I'm going to be taking you through the steps on how to properly wash and dry your car to prevent swirl marks in your car's paint. The process looks a little bit extreme, but keep in mind that this car is washed every month. Therefore, if we put minor swirls in the paint each time we wash it, over 12 washes per year, that will start to quickly accumulate, and it won't be long before this paint looks gnarly. My name is James Dawson, and I'm a detailer out of Washington, D.C. And my goal for this video is to teach you how to properly wash and dry your paint so that you don't have to call a detailer like myself to come and fix your scratches months down the line. First, we're going to blanket the car in foam to take off the top layer of dust and road grime on the car. You're going to want to use a pH neutral soap by default, but if your car is really bad, you might have to opt for a higher pH soap called an active soap. Now, I'm not affiliated with any brand, but I'll post my favorite of both categories in the description below. If you don't have access to a foam cannon, you can fill a spray bottle with a few ounces of your car soap and then mist it on the surface. We're just trying to get as much dirt off the surface before we actually touch the paint with our hands. Now, this is where the wash process starts to deviate from normal, and it'll all make sense in a second. We start by cleaning the windows while the paint is soaking. Don't be afraid to use some pressure, as it's virtually impossible to scratch glass with a towel. On dirtier glass, you can even use a scrub pad or a razor blade, but if you stay on top of it, a microfiber towel will be enough. Now, while the foam is soaking, let's talk brushes. You're going to want to stay away from these type of brushes that you can find at AutoZone and Amazon. They're very inexpensive, but they have nylon bristles that become very scratchy and rough after 1 to 2 uses. Instead, use a boar's hair brush like this. As a general rule of thumb, if it's uncomfortable to do this, that's a brush that's too hard. If you find that you need more scrubbing power from your brushes, don't push down harder. Instead, you can pinch the bristles like this to fan it out, and it gives you a little bit more scrubbing power while still staying super soft on the paint. You just want to gently coax out any dirt that's trapped in the seams. Now that the seams have been brushed out, the paint has soaked, the foam has loosened up the dirt, and we've cleaned the windows. Now we're going to give it a thorough pressure rinse. Now, these are the softest, plushest microfiber towels that I've ever seen. In fact, I would dress myself in this material if it were socially acceptable. Put 5 to 6 in a wash bucket with your pH neutral soap, and then now it's time for the contact wash. Refoam the car using a neutral soap if you have one. Many high alkaline soaps can have a tendency to leave a soapy film if not properly neutralized. Swirl marks form when dirt and dust and debris get stuck under your wash mitt and then get dragged across the paint. So to combat this, what we're going to do is we're going to take our ultra plush microfiber towels, fold it into 4s like so, and we're going to start on the clean piece of glass that we just cleaned, and we're going to swipe and we're going to roll, constantly exposing new fibers. Start from clean glass, swipe and roll. After each side is used, we're going to flip it again, swipe, roll. We're never going to start from a dirty section. So the reason we clean the glass is because it gives us a clean starting point. If we were to set this down on a dirty piece of paintwork, we would be dragging dirt across the paint, contaminating these fibers. By cleaning the glass first, we're giving ourselves a clean starting point to work on all of the panels. Now that this is clean, I can start from here and swipe and roll and work my way on the car, starting from top to bottom, in to out. Once all 8 sides of your towel have been used, put your towel in the laundry pile to be washed for next time. This process looks more daunting than it actually is. Versus the 2-bucket method, it takes about an extra 10 minutes per car, but it's well worth it if it saves me hours of polishing on super soft paint like this. Okay, now it's time to talk about drying the car, which is where most scratches happen, because by definition, you're removing lubrication from the paint when you dry the car. Now, I'm going to tell you 3 methods ranked from best to least safe, but they're all pretty good. The first is to use a filtration system like I have here. Now, this is a quite costly method, but it is absolutely perfectly safe because this filters out any minerals in the hose water, meaning I can let the car air dry. Now, as you might know, hose water has a lot of minerals in it, so if you let the water dry on the paint, that water will evaporate, leaving behind minerals which stains the paint. Now, I understand that this is pretty expensive and not feasible for a lot of you out there. So the next best method is to use a leaf blower or a car blower or an air compressor or something like that, and use it to blow and push the water off of the car. That's also a very effective method because we're not touching the paint. The third best way is to use a damp microfiber towel and a dedicated drying aid product. I'm not affiliated with any brand. I've tried a bunch of drying aid products, and the two best are Ammo Hydrate and Optimum No Rinse. If you use either of those two, you'll be in good shape. So that's what the process looks like. I only covered how to clean sensitive, soft paint. I did not cover how to clean the wheels or protect the car after the wash process. If you'd like to see videos on those topics, please subscribe and I'll make them in the short-term future. If you have any questions for me, please leave them in the comment section and I'll do everything I can to help.